Rahul Bat, Squadre calling from South Carolina in the United States.
Rahbat Zamal, how you doing?
Yes, good. Everything good. Can't complain. I had a question. I was calling to ask, will y'all ever create a video breaking down and showing how originally that was it the 24 elders and there was 12 agreeable elders that came down and seeded the planet using the dolphins to germinate the waters and how we came from water onto land and grew from there? Because I know just from doing research and then listening to y'all for the past couple of years, everybody doesn't really, isn't familiar with that history or story. Everybody's just still stuck on like this whole Inky and Enlil and Naki story, thinking that we came from the Nakis instead of we were already here before the Nakis even arrived here.
Tour. We've answered it and broken it down, but yeah, we do want to hear feedback for videos that people would like to see. So maybe we need to do another video on that. So thank you for that. But yeah, we do, literally everyone now knows that life begins with water. But the thing is, when people say life, they only think or consider life to be the humanoid or the human, mammal nature. But we know that life starts in the water. Even like I said before, where sperm is in water, in the chaotic waters of that's why the woman's waters have to break before the baby comes out. So, but yeah, we've spoken about that, but we will definitely. But it is a known fact that even that's why the first thing they look for when they went to Mars or anywhere they go is water, and that shows you that we come out of water, and even now we're still in water. We call it Earth, but it's actually more predominantly water, and the air that we breathe is water. So we still drink water every day to hydrate. We still have to go into water in the sense of have a shower or have a bath. We love to go on vacation and go to the beach. This is our natural connection to water. And the dolphins, if you look at the genetic makeup of the dolphins in terms of their chromosomes and how they recognize that they are parents, the word dolphin actually happens to mean womb. You see, so because it was the womb that was used by our overseers, the Natharu, the highest beings, to basically put the genetics of the, if you can call it the blueprint or the black print of life into the capsules and put it into the dolphin and send them here to germinate the water for us to evolve from that. You're right. The Anunnaki stories come way, way later. And when the Anunnaki came, what people should recognize is the Anunnaki had to take something that was already here, evolving, right, which was the beings, the Pataites, those small Neolithic beings. And when you start to go to different cultures and ask about the creation stories that they know, if you go to the Dogon in Mali, they will tell you that they came out of the waters. Everywhere you go, the most ancient stories, the Egyptian stories, and then they'll tell you about the frogs and the snakes, and then they go into the Ogdoads, which are the 8 beings that came out in 4 pairs, to the Enneads, the 9 that came afterwards. So even in terms of just like modern day scientists, archaeologists, anthropologists, they're now telling you, where life began. And most of the time they go back to Africa. The oldest fossils are found in Africa from these Neolithic, short, small little beings, the Pataites that came out of the waters. So you're absolutely right that the Anunnaki took that evolving being and then mixed their genetics to create, the hybrid. That's why they were calling them Lulu Amilus, which is a primitive worker. But you have to remember that in order to, we say create, and when people hear the word create, they think it's the first time because they say in Genesis that God created the heavens and the earth. But when you look into the meaning of the word, it's not coming into existence for the first time. To create means to grow something. and you're taking something that already exists and you're growing it, and that's what happens. But things existed before you can, things exist before you can take them and then adapt them or grow them or to build something from them. So the word is to recreate. R-E means to do again, you know. So it was like to replenish something, or to recreate something, or to refill. See, the word R-E is refill, remember. Anytime you see that word, it's saying to do again, you know. So
Right.
they're literally saying refill the earth, because it was already, if you had a glass and you had water and you drank it and you're like, can you refill my cup, please? It's not the first time. It's like, so yeah, Genesis is actually picking up when the Anunnaki came and they were doing the recreation or refilling, and they had to take life that already existed, because even during that time when the the floods came, there were beings like the Pataites, the Watusis, and the Hindu beings that were already here, and they went behind the waterfalls and they hid and waited till the waters subsided, and then they came back onto land. So yes, you're right that people just pick up from when Genesis is talking about, people think Genesis means the beginning. This is the misinformation or the programming. The Hebrew word is not even Genesis, it's Barashith. Yeah, bara in the Hebrew is to do again, recreation, and refill, and and he says, and multiply. So the word itself is telling you it was not the first time, it was a renewal. So people get confused, but in wu-sabat, because the Natharu, our ancestors, they predate the Anunnaki and every other extraterrestrial that ended up coming here to this planet. And another quick thing, when they tell you about the story of Cain and Abel, after Cain
Right.
killed Abel, and he went to where? The land of Nod, right? But there were already people there. And the Bible doesn't account, all right, where did these people come from? How did he have a wife? But you had Anak. Anak is the wife of Azazel. Azazel is who people referred to as the devil. That's why he was able to like go to that land of Nod, because those disagreeable beings were already there. And then you had all different types of extraterrestrials coming there, because it was like a recreation place. Like people, extraterrestrials were coming on holiday, coming to hunt. They were even like splicing and doing genetic engineering, creating their own beings. Why you have many beings, like they talk about unicorns and centaurs, and they talk about beings with six toes
Werewolves and
and
stuff like that,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So you're
And
right.
vampires.